Chapter 84, Don't Go All Out. The fifth floor of the training building was where fourth-year students attended public lessons. However, in this great genetic age, not many fourth-year seniors are in the school anymore. Thus, the public training hall occupied less than a third of the second floor. As for the remaining area, the school had set up a relatively high-standard arena that was bulletproof on all sides. It was the kind that could withstand the shots from firearms and energy weapons. It was convenient for some students to go through extreme tests. Li Cheng and the rest of the students from the School of Enlightened Mind arrived at Arena 4. It was a room that was 25 meters long and 15 meters wide. They could get a teacher to be the judge. However, they had to pay a little for a private battle like this. Otherwise, if 10% of the school's students asked the teacher to be the judge, the teacher would have to do nothing but this. Class monitor, I'll contact a student to understand the situation. You have to be careful of Li Cheng. He had already been a level F genetic liberator when he started the school level assessment. Now, he was a level E genetic liberator. It was rumored that he had already activated 4 genetic ability chains. He had immense battle prowess. In the extreme branch, Li Cheng was already a guaranteed student on the Longhu list. He might not be in the top 10, but he was definitely in the top 100. He was very powerful. Based on his current battle record, not many people in the Extreme Branch Institute could defeat him. Based on the reaction speed just now, Li Cheng is one of the few students around the 120 millisecond mark. Rong Yayan did not have any talents or abilities. He was a standard student from the School of Enlightened Mind. However, he was an expert at gathering information. Also, you have to pay attention to the person called Wang Zixuan. I don't know what level of a genetic liberator he is, but I think that he has not been determined yet. However, he had defeated Deng Wei in battle. He was primarily a power type, while his speed type abilities were supplementary. He was the complete opposite of Li Cheng. Yes, he had defeated Deng Wei once before he became a lonely testicle warrior. It has been almost 2 weeks since he defeated Deng Wei. His strength must have increased greatly. You have to be careful. As for the rest, I think that it would not be difficult for you to deal with them. Class monitor. Zhu Tui felt that the situation had become much clearer now that he had an expert in intelligence like the academician Rong Yayan. Even though he did not know everything about the person, he was not as confused as before. All right, thank you. My treat if you win. Rong Yayan's eyes lit up. All right, you sure are straightforward. How are you treating me? Can I coos? You can choose anything within the $50 range. Chi. Even though he said that with disdain, Rong Yayan made an okay gesture. Zhu Tui was not allowed to go back on his word. Zhu Tui carefully put on all of his protective gear. He was deeply affected by a sentence that Professor Luo Shifeng had said during his lesson today. He only had one life. No matter how confident he was, he had to put on protective gear during any training that involved danger. Clearly, Wang Zixuan, who had been the first to get onto the stage, also remembered that sentence. Of course, it might also be because of the precedent of Deng Wei being a single-testicle superman. But Wang Zixuan put on his jockstraps, knee guards, and even a helmet and goggles very seriously. Clearly, they had studied the video of Zhu Tui and Deng Wei's battle many times. They even had some thoughts about it. Zhu Tui slowly stepped onto the stage. Li Cheng was not the first to go on stage. This made Zhu Tui think even more highly of Li Cheng. He was a calm opponent. Are you guys ready? Li Cheng, who was standing below the stage and acting as the temporary judge along with Rong Yayan, asked. I'm ready. Zhu Tui and Wang Zixuan nodded at the same time. Oh, yes, Zhu Tui, do you need soybeans or marbles? We know that that is one of your abilities, Li Cheng proactively asked. Zhu Tui shook his head. It will be a battle. I'll only use my mystery branch abilities today. Li Cheng gave Zhu Tui a thumbs up when he heard him. The same goes for us. The main focus of today's battle is the battle. Even though the extreme branch uses our full strength the moment we attack, we will not be able to continue attacking you once you show signs of losing. On the stage, Wang Zixuan nodded. Don't worry, I know when to stop. Yes, I recommend that you do not use your full strength the moment you attack, Zhu Tui suddenly said. Why? Wang Zixuan was very curious. So were Li Cheng and the rest of the students. After all, the extreme branch unleashed speed and power. They naturally used their full strength when they attacked. You'll know in a while. Zhu Tuer let out a mysterious smile. Zhu Tui has been improving these days. He was also improving. He was also reflecting on himself. During his first battle with Deng Wei the other day, he had only used the mental all at a low level. The Zhu Tui today was different. He had agreed to the battle today because he wanted to verify his theory. Get ready. Start. Li Qing gave the order, but the expected scene did not happen. Wang Zixuan did not attack at full speed like Deng Wei did. Instead, he adopted a defensive stance and slowly approached Zhu Tui. A distance of 5 meters, 3 meters, 2, 5 meters. Clearly, the students from the extreme branch had come up with a way to deal with Zhu Tui's mystery branch abilities. After the video of his battle with Deng Wei was released to the public, it looked like they had come to Zhu Tui to verify what they were thinking. Wang Zixuan had not attacked when he was 2 meters away from Zhu Tui. The students from the School of Enlightened Mind, Rong Yayang, and the rest of the students from the School of Enlightened Mind clenched their fists in nervousness. During their recent classes, almost all of the teachers had said that students from the mystery branch had to keep their distance from their enemies during battle. That was a safety precaution. A student from the extreme branch could instantly kill a student from the mystery branch institute at a distance of 2 meters with a burst of power. There was no doubt about it. Class rep, you should retreat too. Rong Yayang was extremely anxious. He almost roared. Zhu Tui did not move. He looked at the slowly approaching Wang Zixuan with a smile. He did not seem nervous at all. I'm going to attack. That's your weakness. Wang Zixuan reminded Zhu Tui in a gentlemanly manner. He slowly approached Zhu Tui again. He moved when he was within 1.8 meters of Zhu Tui. He took a step forward and punched forward. While he was attacking, he closed in on Zhu Tui with lightning speed. Zhu Tui did not move. There were no signs of defense. It was as if he was going to stand there and get beaten up. Li Cheng was shocked. Was Zhu Tui not as powerful as he looked in the video? However, Wang Zixuan, who was attacking with all his strength, did not have that many thoughts. At this moment, all of his attention was focused on the battle. Just as he was about to take a step forward and punch forward, Wang Zixuan turned around again. This was a feint. He whipped his leg towards Zhu Tui's leg at lightning speed, intending to knock him down. It was also at this moment that Zhu Tui's gaze froze. Bang! Bang! A gasp of pain and the sound of hitting a brick rang out. Wang Zixuan's kick suddenly met with indescribable resistance when it was 5 centimeters away from Zhu Tui's leg. Wang Zixuan felt as though he had just kicked a rock. He must have kicked 2 rocks in a row. He shattered the first piece, but not the second. Wang Zixuan felt as though his bones were going to break from touching a rock with his physical body. Strangely, there was nothing between Zhu Tui's legs. Wang Zixuan, who was gasping in pain, hugged his leg and instantly became like a golden rooster standing alone. He quickly removed his socks and shoes. The back of Wang Zixuan's foot was rapidly swelling and turning blue. He looked at Zhu Tui with an extremely shocked and strange gaze. Then, Li Cheng quickly stepped forward and touched the back of Wang Zixuan's leg. There are no fractures. Let's put on ice first, then spray the swelling and bruise spray. Well, then go and check it out. If there are any fractures, well, administer a growth accelerating needle. You should be able to recover in 1 to 2 days. Should I get someone to send you there first? Li Cheng asked. People from the extreme branch were rather experienced with external injuries. Ill ice and spray it. Well, talk after I watch your battle. Wang Zixuan had been defeated for no rhyme or reason. He was naturally unwilling to leave just like that. Furthermore, he wanted to continue watching the battle. At that instant, both Li Cheng and his extreme branch students felt that they had made the right decision in coming today. They had never encountered such a strange way of fighting in their previous battles. They would benefit greatly from watching and discussing such a battle when they got back. Rong Yayang was also dumbfounded. Was the enlightened mind type that powerful? Or was the class monitor extraordinary? I told you not to use your full strength the moment you attacked, Zhu Tui said. My injury is not serious. It has nothing to do with you. I did not expect it. This battle was worth it, Wang Zixuan said. Who's next? Zhu Tui suddenly shouted. His eyes were filled with confidence. Li Cheng was still not in a hurry to get onto the stage. Instead, a student from the extreme branch went onto the stage to fight Zhu Tui. Zhu Tui activated his mental senses and became extremely focused. Just like how he had dealt with Wang Zixuan, Zhu Tui only activated the mental all when his opponent's attacks were about to land on his body. Zhu Tui activated his mental senses and judgment, as well as his powerful reflexes. He had used the enemy's own strength to injure them. Powerful mental senses could detect the slightest change in an opponent within a certain radius. If Zhu Tui had more experience, there would be fewer feints that could fool him. Of course, Zhu Tui's method of placing the mental alls today had an important premise: reflexes. His reflexes must be faster than his opponent's, perhaps even a little faster. Otherwise, he would not be able to come up with a response within a short time even if he had a prediction. After all, Zhu Tui had very little time to react at such a close distance. If not for the enhancement he got during class today, Zhu Tui would not have had such an easy time. 2 more rounds. Li Cheng handed over the other 2 bottles of level E energy restoration elixirs. Alright, Zhu Tui accepted the gift readily. The third extreme branch student went up to battle Zhu Tui. He had learned his lesson from Wang Zixuan and the other student. He did not use his full strength, and he had many feints. He even used a feint-based technique. However, it still crashed into the mental alls that Zhu Tui had set up. The fist became red and swollen as he retreated. In the 4th match, Li Cheng finally got onto the stage. Student Zhu Tui, we finally understand why Deng Wei lost that day. Not only that, but he was a little shameless. Just as the commentator said, you had held back during your battle with Deng Wei the other day. Deng Wei did not realize it. He was not grateful enough to stop. Instead, he took advantage of the situation and attacked. All I can say is that he deserves it. Zhu Tui felt extremely comfortable hearing those words. He also felt an inexplicable sense of relief. After all, even though the reputation of crippling a student was justified, it still sounded a little brutal. Now, Zhu Tui was finally understood. Zhu Tui did not speak. He was like a hero in an ancient martial arts film. He cupped his hands toward Li Cheng. Student Zhu Tui, your mystery branch ability is indeed very strange. However, it is not as if you have no way of dealing with it. You have to be careful later. Li Cheng, who had observed the battle 3 times, finally got onto the stage after he put on his jockstraps and helmet glasses. Even though he already had some understanding of Zhu Tui. However, Zhu Tui had a notorious reputation from his previous battles. He had to be careful. He did not like the title of single-testicle Superman at all. Get ready. Start. Rong Yuyang, who was acting as the referee, shouted.